All right, everybody, I am back with a very rare Sunday DC update. This week has been just chock full of all kinds of information to pass on, and the last 24 hours has been crazy. There are two major stories that are rolling around the internet, and we're going to talk about both of these. One has to do with the sale of Warner Brothers, and the other has to do with the firing of James Gunn. Yes, you heard that right. There is a possibility that James Gunn is going to be fired from Warner Brothers. And let's take a look, and then I will give you my thoughts on these stories at the very end. But let's take a look. First up, this comes from Cosmic Book News. With Superman reportedly bombing financially, and with Peacemaker Season 2 flopping with fans, I reached out to my insiders about the state of the DCU under James Gunn. The short of it is that James Gunn will be out as the head of DCU with the Warner Brothers Discovery sale. I'm told if David Ellison of Skydance Paramount buys Warner Brothers Discovery, that Mike DeLuca will be in charge of DC and do a completely new start. All right, so let's talk about this here. First of all, this is coming out of the New York City Comic-Con, and I am not familiar with Cosmic Book News. I have shared a few of their stories here in the past. I cannot corroborate their validity, that they have insiders that they have talked to. But let's talk about what his story and what his article basically discussed. Number one, it is important to know that, yes, everything that James Gunn has done for DC so far has been a financial failure. We first had it with the Suicide Squad. We had it with Creature Commandos. We had it with Peacemaker Season 2. And Superman definitely did not make its money back in its theatrical run. It may make a little bit of money with, the video-on-demand sales and physical sales, but it's not going to be anything amazing. And I do think that $42 million number is actually much higher than what they claim it is for a loss. So it still has a little bit of a hill to climb before it becomes successful. So what James Gunn is doing is not resonating with people. And that doesn't look good, okay? And what this individual said is that if they buy it, that both David Zaslav and James Gunn will be out of the DCU, and that they do want to start completely over with DC, which I think would be a huge mistake. We can act like this was a little blip on the radar, and we could continue with what we had before and just do a little bit of a course correction with some of the stories. Because I could tell you, if you bring Henry Cavill back and you have McQuarrie do a Man of Steel 2, I do think people would go see it at the theater. I think it would be a massive, massive, massive hit, and I think Mike DeLuca knows that. That is, if this is truly what is going to happen. Here are my thoughts on this. Number one, this cannot be corroborated. Okay, there is no way to verify that this is what is happening. Here's what I do know. As long as it stays under David Zaslav and he's with Warner Brothers, him and Safran are safe. Even with these flops, it is a fact that Warner Brothers runs with the people who fail the most. It's the ones they reward. They've been doing this for quite some time. You literally fail upwards at Warner Brothers Discovery. It's the way Warner Brothers has run for quite a while. The fact that you're bringing Blue Beetle back, which was the worst financial it made the least amount of money of any film released in the DCEU. That character is supposedly coming back under James Gunn, and a lot of people were upset that he wasn't in the Peacemaker season finale, and he's supposed to be getting his own show, animated show. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad lost more money than any other DCEU film, well, outside of The Flash. But James Gunn also said The Flash was one of the best superhero films he's ever seen. And look how that ended up, losing the company several $100 million. So obviously his instincts are not where they should be. I do believe if things stay the way they are now, he's going to continue on and probably get an extension because you do fail upwards at Warner Brothers. I do believe, though, that this company is going to be sold, and I think it is going to happen soon. And that is the second story we're going to talk about here. So here it is. Warner Brothers has rejected Paramount's first bid to buy the company. So they are now up for sale, officially. This is coming from Bloomberg.com. And supposedly, Warner Brothers, Paramount offered Warner Brothers, Mr. Ellison offered $60 billion for the company, which Zaslav balked at. Now, what this means is there are definitely things in motion. And there are rumors out there, and again, I cannot tell you this is a fact, but there are rumors out there that because they did not accept this first offer, that Ellison is looking to possibly become a major shareholder because shares are still so cheap that he may go in and just buy shares of the company and do a hostile takeover that way, which is a very real possibility, especially since their stock is in the toilet and has been for years. And so these are both the stories that are going around. I do 100% believe Warner Brothers is going to be sold. I told everybody this years ago that this was the plan, and I figured this was going to happen. A lot of people called me a liar because it hadn't happened yet, but here we are, 2 years later, and it's up for sale. Warner Brothers cannot continue on the trajectory that they are on, and I do believe if they are purchased, that yes, Zaslav will be out and both Gunn and Safran will be out. It is very clear and has been clear for years that Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca know what the fans want. It's whenever they get these other people like Hamada who come in and go against what they want to do, where the company struggles. And it's amazing how you do fail upwards at Warner Brothers. So these two stories have been making the rounds all over social media for the last 24 hours. This stuff came out just after I had posted my video yesterday. And so I had to get on here. I had to do a video so that I can have a normal DC update tomorrow on some of the New York Comic-Con stuff. And then, we can get back into a normal week. But I will tell you, as all of this information continues to come out and continues to roll out, I will be covering it. So if you are not subscribed to my channel yet and you are a regular viewer, you don't want to miss a video. And if you are a regular viewer and you aren't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, like the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I have new videos go up. There's a lot of moving parts right now, and there's going to be a lot to cover in the coming days, weeks, months, and years with DC. I really hope we get some cool stuff coming out of DC shortly. It's not going to happen as long as Warner Brothers Discovery is run by Zaslav and run by Gunn and Safran. It's going to continue to fail and continue to struggle until it gets into the hands of somebody who actually cares. And you can have all these people talk about the ratings. Ratings don't matter. Why they keep making shows where you're getting hundreds of millions of views rather than millions, hundreds of thousands of views rather than millions of views, it just boggles the mind why they're spending the money on properties that people aren't going to watch. So hopefully things will change shortly, but that will only come with a sale. All right, guys, what do you think of all of this news? We will see you on the next video.